Back at the University of Maryland, infants are brought in at 9 months for the second assessment of the temperament study. This time, researchers want to measure the emotions of anger, joy, and fear, all aspects of temperament. First, Jack is allowed to play with a colorful toy. Then a transparent barrier is put between him and the object of his desire. He sees the toy, but can't reach it. No matter how frustrated Jack feels, he won't give up. And when he can't do it on his own, he tries to charm the researcher into helping him. Emily, also 9 months, is of a different temperament than Jack. It seems she's more laid back. She gives it 1 or 2 tries, but then gives up. And even when the researcher tries to entice her again, she can't be bothered.
My name is Zoe. How do you do?
Everyone knows that a puppet show makes children happy.
Who do we have here today? She's awfully cute.
During this part of the study, researchers want to draw joy from the babies.
What's your name, Emily?
Emily loves the puppets and even tries to join in on the action.
It's nice to see you here today. Are you having fun? Who do we have here today?
But when the researcher tries the same experiment on Jack, he finds the situation anything but joyful.
Zoe, how do you do?
His temperament is such that he's easily frightened, and he will have none of it. The minute the puppets are removed, he cheers up and is ready for more action. Next, researchers test the baby's reaction when something frightens them. Not surprisingly, Jack is shaken by the scary mask. So they bring on the clown mask. And this one really pushes him past his limit. But Emily is very interested. She finds the clown amusing and thinks it's just a continuation of the previous entertainment. As for the more ominous mask, she just takes it in stride and adopts a wait-and-see attitude. Why does Emily react differently from Jack? Where does the difference reside? To find out, Dr. Peter Marshall places an EEG cap on Emily. The electrodes on the cap will measure the electrical signals produced by her brain in response to a series of sounds. A researcher distracts Emily while they get a baseline reading of her brain. Then she hears a series of tones. The series consists of regular beeps interspersed with other sounds that are different. How the brain reacts to sudden new stimuli is recorded. Emily seems to have more activity in her right frontal lobe. This kind of reading is associated with children who have a more subdued personality. But what has fascinated researchers is that babies with exuberant temperaments show an exaggerated response on the other side of the brain, in the left frontal lobe. In test after test, this groundbreaking research has shed light on the neurobiological basis of restraint and exuberance. Jack overreacts so much that he won't even allow the cap to be put on. One can only guess what the alpha waves in his left frontal lobe are showing. But is emotional temperament constant over time? Will the temperament that Elizabeth exhibits at 6 months be the same when she is older? Will the curious toddler remain curious forever? The lounger, the joker, the dreamer, the industrious one. Are they destined to carry these temperament traits into the years ahead? And what about the worrier? And even the shy one? To find out, researchers at Nathan Fox's lab bring back children previously tested for the final part of the long-term study. 24-month Ethan and his mother are introduced to the risk room to see how Ethan reacts to various stressful situations. A stranger enters.
Where you going?
In this first part of the study, what researchers measure is how long it takes for the child, if at all, to overcome shyness and warm up to the stranger. Eventually, when the so-called stranger pulls out some inviting toys, Ethan overcomes his shyness and takes the risk.
You gonna help me clean up?
Once he's comfortable with the stranger, they continue with the next part of the study.
Now it's time to play with Toby the robot.
Researchers wanted to find out how children react to unpredictable situations. And the toy robot is certainly unpredictable with its noises and sudden movements.
Would you like to come see our cool robot?
The robot proves too much for Ethan, even with his mother by his side.
Should we do something else?
Would you like to play with something else?
Let's put Toby away.
Okay. Would you be mine?
Yeah. Let's say goodbye, Toby.
Say bye-bye, Toby. Bye-bye, Toby.
For the next part of the study, Ethan is tested on a set of stairs to see if he's a risk taker.
I'm going to jump off of this. Now you do it.
The researcher demonstrates and invites Ethan to try. But Ethan is a cautious little boy.
Can you jump?
One foot and then the other.
Yay!
He gets over the hurdle in his own way.
Would you like to do that again?
Emboldened by his success, he does it again.
Yay!
Good job.
Upon reflection, he turns to his mother.
My knee hurts. Your knee hurts. Can I give it a kiss?
He wants her to recognize how big a risk he took.
Kiss all better.
24-month Raphael, who's the same age as Ethan, reacts differently. He's a child who likes to take risks.
Look, he's walking.
But when the robot arrives, he's not such a hero.
He's walking. Uh-oh,
Come see our cool robot.
what? Wow.
Unpredictable situations which he has no control over terrify him.
Raphael.
Come up the steps.
35-month Abby has a totally different temperament. She takes charge of the situation and even gives instructions to the researcher before leaping off the stairs. When the robot appears, Abby is intrigued, but only up to a point. She needs to hold on to the researcher for courage. The final part of this study shows that the amount of risk a child takes depends on their individual temperament. And as researchers gather all the findings of this long-term study, they expect to find that children who are at the temperamental extremes at 4 months will demonstrate the same tendencies at 9 months and 24 months. But does early temperament seal the baby human's emotional fate? Will their childhood temperament govern their behavior for life?